Hi, welcome to another episode of Cruising in the Kitchen. Today we're going to work with puff pastry again, and like the other episodes, we buy the puff pastry in the freezer. It's a regular Pepperidge Farm product, and I have one here, and it comes in this paper bag, and I had two of them, and then there's one left here, and this is what I'm going to be using today. So for this recipe, we're making cheese straws. Simple, easy, takes no time, and uses up one of the slices in the package. So this is all you need. This is an egg wash. This is 3 ounces of cheese. It can be anything. It could be salty Parmesan. This is a really sharp cheddar. Whatever you have in the house. And something to spice it up a little bit. I chose this mixture called harissa, but basically it's a paprika mixture, and it has salt, pepper, and other things in it. And that's what we're going to spice the cheese with. So it's really simple. So this is cold. I just have enough flour, and I'm going to dust this board, clean board, so that this will not stick. And this is how it comes out of the package. We've seen this before. Coat it with flour and we'll open it up. It's got to be cold. You let this sit too long and it'll get warm on you. So very similar to the way we've used puff pastry before, because it always comes the same way. I believe this is 8 or 9 inches square, and we want to increase it by another inch. Trusty rolling pin. Just dust that a little bit so it won't stick. And just get another inch or so out of the length and the width of the piece of the puff pastry. I try to stay away from the seams a little bit so I don't aggravate it and cut it at all, but it's pretty easy to work with. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see the shape isn't quite 100% square, but that's okay. You can always do stuff like this. You always want to roll in one direction as a tip. So you never want to roll back and forth. One direction, one direction, one direction, one direction. Especially puff pastry because it's fragile. And when we cut these strips, very important to have a very sharp knife for that. And we're going to use a pizza cutter in this case because we're going to make tall strips. We want to make sure, try not to crease it like that too much at all. So careful, careful. You can see I did a little teeny bit there, but that'll come out okay. So, we gave this another inch in width and length. It's still moving around and we can work with it. So, egg wash. 1 egg. A drop of water if you need to. I didn't put any water in this particular egg wash, and the purpose of that is, number 1, we're going to get the cheese mixture to stick to this with the egg wash. And we need the egg wash after we make the cheese straws. And we're going to egg wash the straws right before we throw them in the oven. The oven's at 400. Something like 12 to 18 minutes, they say. This is something I would put on for 10 minutes and watch it. Once again, no recipe is exact, no oven is the same. So there is no exact time for these recipes. It's actually when it's done. And when it's done means that you check it early and set the timer for 3 to 5 minutes early for every single recipe that you do. You won't overcook anything. And this cheese I measured out, they say about 3 ounces a slice of puff pastry dough. So my cheese here is roughly 3 ounces. I'm going to see how much I can get on here. Same idea as the sugar that we did for the elephant ears. We're just basically going to get as much product we can on this, and we'll even roll it with the roller. So you want to spread it out as much as possible. You can even grate it in the finer part of the grater if you want, the Parmesan especially. But it really doesn't matter, and you just want to have some fun with it, and you don't want to stress out. You just want to have fun. The rolling pin helps push the cheese into the dough, as you can see, like that. I'm going to put a little spice on there, anywhere from this is a quarter teaspoon, but anywhere from a quarter teaspoon and up, depending what you want. And this is just a spice blend, otherwise I'd put a little cumin, paprika, salt and pepper. But this has it all. This is a nice little spice, I use it a lot lately. So, we're going to make strips. We're going to make this into strips and we're going to curl them. And pizza cutter. Very sharp knife, and you don't want to, like I was saying, you don't want to tear this dough. So very quick movements with your knife and very sharp knife. And this is it. And this is all you're doing. You're making a cheese straw. And we're going to egg wash these and put them in the oven. And you can spice this any way you want. It can be very spicy. It can be barbecue, cheese straw. It can be an Indian flavored. This was harissa. And these will get puffy and they'll look really cool because it's puff pastry. And it will puff up. And it looks like you spent all day in the kitchen. But once again, this pre-made dough, you can do it one or two at a time if you want. Just be careful. The pre-made dough is saving you all the time in the world. So this dough in itself is a day-long project. So I think if you really want to feel like you've achieved something in life, make your own homemade puff pastry. Once you've mastered that, you can feel pretty good about yourself. It's not an easy task. I shouldn't say it's not an easy task. It's a long, involved situation. It's really not too difficult. You just have to do it. So, I'm going to do a bunch of these, and I think I'll come back when my sheet is full, so you don't have to watch it all. And then I'll show you how to egg wash it, and we'll throw them in the oven, and I'll check them after about 10 minutes. Very hot oven. Hey, we're back. We've got 1 tray's worth. And I'll show you. You just want to dab this on. This will give it a little bit of brown color when it comes out. Kind of like painting. No stress. Don't worry. It doesn't have to be exact. Can drip. Can do this. Very forgiving. I am not about stressful cooking. Okay, pop these in the oven. I'll probably rotate the pan after 6 minutes. Check them. It's going to be 12 to 18 minutes. And we'll take them out and I'll let you know how long it took. Hey, we're back. And the oven's on about 425, and I've got about 12 minutes, and I like the way they look, so I'm taking them out. I think that's a pretty good look for the amount of work that we did. All we did was spread 3 ounces of cheese and some spice on some puff pastry that we purchased at the store, and less than a half hour later you have a nice appetizer. And when these cool down, it's really cool to put them in a tall cup and have them standing up vertical for your guests. When they come up, they can just take one. But anyways, that's the cheese straw. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.